Pretty much every day we get some sort of devastating update on the situation in East Palestine following the derailment of a train less than 2 weeks ago. The most recent news is that there was reason to be concerned, not in general about trains, from all that we've learned about the antiquated braking technology and the lack of regulations. There was reason to be concerned about this particular train because apparently excess size caused it to break down in the days leading up to its derailment in Ohio. So it originated in Madison, Illinois on the evening of February 1st, broke down at least once before it derailed in East Palestine, according to employees familiar with the matter. Employees say there were already concerns among those working on the train over what they believed was its excessive length and weight. 151 cars, 9,300 feet long, 18,000 tons. And that was before it actually reached East Palestine. Interestingly, Sarah Feinberg, who served as administrator of the Federal Railroad Administration from 2015 to 2017, said that the train was considered to be very long. When she was in that position, she wasn't happy with the lengths of trains then, and they were generally 80 to 90 cars long. This train was 50% longer than the ones she was already concerned about. So they're just, Anna, they're like, I know you've been covering this story now. There is so many concerns, so many signs that could have been read and action could have been taken that stopped this from happening.
Last year, Norfolk Southern, which is the rail company operating this train that was derailed in Ohio, announced a $10 billion stock buyback program to enrich their shareholders. It's really important for folks to understand that the lack of safety protocols, the lack of employees necessary to ensure that safety inspections are being done regularly and properly, that is not an accident. That is very much intentional in order to cut costs, increase profits, and provide a return on investment to shareholders. This is how capitalism works. This is how the markets work. And the only way, if you're not a believer in nationalizing things or having workers own the means of production, if that makes you uncomfortable, in the very least, you need a government that is not captured by legalized bribery to regulate industry. And they are not doing that. Pete Buttigieg, the head of the transportation department, is making a conscious decision to avoid regulating the rail industry. There's a lot he can do unilaterally, and he's deciding to not implement those policies. That is the reality of the situation.
You are 100% right. Yeah, and I love I know you're gonna be talking later on in the Young Turks today about his attempt to be like, well, what, I can't do anything. And it turns out that is very much not true. And I love the information you found that's revealed how much of a lie his attempted defense is. By the way, I wanna give credit as well to CK Progressive, who sent in a super chat, says Norfolk Southern had another train derailment this morning in Michigan. No hazmat chemical spills this time, so the national media will ignore it. We will see. I think you're probably right. And I looked it up, yes. Apparently in Van Buren Township, a train operated by Norfolk Southern did derail, no hazmat leaks. So that's at least the good news, I guess. But no, seriously, there needs to be more. I think one good thing coming out of this is that we're learning about how common these derailments are. And so obviously this is a time when you need the government to get involved.
Yeah, and by the way, the government has gotten involved in one way, which was to prevent the rail workers who are overworked and can't take time off without being retaliated against. They intervened to prevent them from striking. Yeah. So when the government, wants to get active, they do, but usually it's on behalf of the employers, as they did with the impending strike that they crushed.
Yeah. Okay. I also wanted to mention, by the way, and this is hopefully to give a sign of that, I hope that the media and politics are in for the long haul on this to get answers, because eventually, if they move away, people are still gonna be dealing with this. Senators in both parties have called for congressional probes into the train derailment. So that's good. You might have some Democrats who are willing to talk about new regulations, more obligation on the corporations to make good when these derailments happen. And then you have some Republicans who feel freed up to pretend to care about what corporations are doing because this happened while Biden is president. So I'll take it if that gets both of them on the right page.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.